What's going on YouTube? All right, so I decided to do a video on my little story about how I went from, full-time employee working for the cable company, and even before that, I'll kind of give my backstory a little bit, and then to now, contractor, self-employed, all that good stuff. I like hearing about everybody else's, little stories and how they got their little struggles and stuff. So I thought it'd be time for my little story and some struggles and all that good stuff. And so I'll do a little bit of voiceover, some pictures. I didn't take many pictures when I was growing up or anything like that, but you guys may know or may not know, born and raised in Alaska, and now I'm in Michigan. So there's a little story behind that as well. So let's get to it. I will say, well, let's get to it. How about that? All right, so here we go. This is where I grew up in Alaska for the most part. I moved around a lot because it's a broken house and all that good stuff. But lived with dad and a brother there. It's called Sheep Mountain Range in Alaska. This is the Glen Highway, goes east to west. It's the only road going to anywhere remotely close to civilization. So it's it. So this is a road highlighted in red. You can see in the top right corner where this is at in the actual state itself. Lived about 63 miles away from the nearest grocery store, all that good stuff. So yeah, fun times growing up. You wouldn't know it, but it was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, Alaska life. I was born and raised, so Alaska life was pretty sweet. That's exactly where it is, Sheep Mountain Lodge. And back to this, you can see in the corner, kind of the center. But it's where I didn't know any different, and it was awesome. There's lots I can say about it, but my dad started in late 80s being a mobile mechanic. And that's him right there. But he self-employed from then, and I could see how awesome it was for his freedom of his schedule, and it was sweet. We got to spend a lot of time together, and it was sweet. And this is Sheep Mountain. This is his house behind it. This is where I grew up. Lots of it's basically a junkyard, but it's how he made his money. And it was awesome. We got to play, learn, and do all that other stuff. So that's what it looks in the summertime. In the wintertime, it's a lot different for sure. But yeah, junkyard, this is where I grew up. And we'll skip forward here because from here to where I'm at now, there's a lot going on, which is not really prevalent to this channel. But again, this is what my area looks like. And we'll skip to the Marine Corps. I left Alaska, went to Michigan, and then joined the Marines. 2003 to 2007, and it wasn't the greatest time, but it wasn't the worst time either. Lot of experience. Went to Iraq. This is a picture of us in Ramadi, 2005 circa, or me in Ramadi, with a 240 Golf machine gun. I was a machine gunner, and a lot of BS with it, but at the same time, you got to go see the world. Iraq, me laying down in the street somewhere in Ramadi. This is behind a 50 cal in the street. So yeah, we'll get some of these out. And then the second deployment, when we didn't go to Iraq, we went on a MEU, which was the South Pacific. That's the Juno. The USS is Juno. We were a boat company, so we got to float around in Zodiacs and go to little islands and pretend like we were storming beaches and stuff like that. That's all of us around, just circling to make sure we can land again. But as far as the Marine Corps, 4 years, the 4 years went by really slow, but after looking back at it, it went by really fast. So, met my girlfriend, now wife, back in 2004 to 5-ish, and we've been together ever since. This is another picture of me in 2006 in Alaska. Going back there and visiting. Dad's still working, still doing his small business, mobile not really mobile too much, but still mobile repair business. And this is probably about the time. So we'll jump forward here. This is, Multiband. When I left the Marine Corps, I got into the auto field, but I quickly realized there's no future, no reason to have a business in California as a self-employed business owner because of the taxes and stuff like that is in the auto. And then this is where I discovered piece rate work was DirecTV with cable company. They paid you by the job. And I knew I was never going back because piece rate work, the harder you work, the more you get paid basically. So within reason. So that's what I did, and I basically had this is the back of my trailer or my van. I had it outfitted not only for DirecTV, but you can see there's a bunch of stuff in here that does side work, and I not immediately started doing side work, but you get your side hustle on, and you start working, doing other things, and just basically you know, taking care of whatever else, using the job to meet customers, and then putting my name out there as far as doing side work, doing side hustle. Everybody has to do it. This is how I kind of hone your practice. You can see I based off of the low voltage area starting out because that's what I knew, and then I creeped out, did more things that I was more comfortable with, and kind of took some chances, and that's how I started going with it. That's exactly the route I took, and my wife and I bought a house, and I practiced on the house. That's, use that to practice on everything. Took stuff apart, not make damage, but at the same point, try to fix stuff myself. So that's the Gen 1 Milwaukee Fuel impact. You can see I'm driving lags into roofs and stuff. So I just wanted the most torque, and that was the newest one. This is circa 2015, I want to believe, when this came out. So I grabbed it and never looked back as far as Milwaukee tools for impacts anyways, because they do run top of the line for that. And not to mention, this was the big purchase back I think this came out in July 2014, and in late 2014, I believe I bought it. I saw $500 for this kit. It was it was a great. You can see here I immediately put it to work. That Hitachi miter saw was my first miter saw purchase. It was pretty easy sell to the wife because of how much miter saws are so versatile. I think I either sold or gave that away to another coworker because I was going cordless tools even back then because I knew I wanted a cordless nail gun, and that was the first one to market. This is where you start. It started on my basement. This is where you hone your skills, working on your own stuff. That way, framing, all that kind of stuff. I originally called the miter saw a mitter saw. So somebody, one of my wife's friends, corrected me. So therefore, that's how much I knew at this point. It's ridiculous, right? So, working on the basement, getting stuff taken care of. This is basically my first big project, which was fine. You could see there's cords everywhere, and I was getting stuff done. And this is just me working out, not moonlighting, but side hustling, because I was still having my full-time job at this point, and just learning the stuff. And this is where I obviously knew what I wanted to do, and it was pretty much set. This is first time drilling through tile, mounting stuff, so that's always fun. So you can learn, and doing more jobs, more low voltage. This is at a Hilton hotel I scored, and when I do work, I go and buy tools, as you see fit. And so it happened. I basically got fired. I got called into the office one day and said that, hey, my services are no longer needed. It was some BS. Like, I think I had one bad review from a customer that I had to call the cops on, or was going to, because they wouldn't let me off their property. But regardless, I got, my van got taken away, my, transportation. So I'm not using a Mustang to go do contractor and handyman stuff. So I had to go straight out and buy a truck. This is the truck I got. 4-wheel drive, 4-door. It was great. Absolutely great. Got the Harbor Freight ladder rack on it. Worked out just fine. Absolutely. So had to, create a little business name for myself, and, get business cards, all that good stuff. So, it kind of happened real quick, and I was actually still looking for a regular job. This is just some of the stuff I, searching for Signal LLC, obviously, but still looking for a job. And then I was, making some money, had some work lined up immediately. So I had to go take care of those jobs, and kind of knew that I always wanted to stick with the handyman and become a contractor, because the freedom, I could do pretty much what I wanted to. And I started with small jobs, easy, really, really small jobs. And then I'd just go use that money to reinvest and buy tools, and, just keep recycling, getting what I need to. This is a big job. This was at a bar in Macomb County, and this was mounting like 30 some TVs, doing some like wood lap siding, all that kind of stuff. And then I go buy more tools. So, because I knew, it is what it is. Cordless was the way I wanted to go, and it was so much easier. And you buy tools when you get the batteries come either an extra set, or you get the batteries for free, because they're the expensive part, really, for sure. So that DeWalt stand did not last, by the way. So doing minor drywall work, kind of started out, got this taken care of. I did not have to paint that, and then I go buy more tools. This is just a DeWalt and 12 volt. So, and then this job, this is my first framing job after I did my basement. I sold him the built-in right there, and then he wanted a little closet, And so I told him, yeah, I can do the closet for you. So I did the closet. And this customer, it's actually turned into tens of thousands of dollars of work on his house over the years. So I think this is back in 2016 or 20, I forget what year this was, but it turned out fine. You know, talked him into a little extra lighting and a little switch there. So, and then I find out what I need, and then boom, I go buy it. I was like, all right, I need a table saw, and the DeWalt impact set came with it. More work. My stairs are level. His house is not. That's what it looks like. And then, you know, you just kind of accumulate tools after you earn some money and you take care of it. This is my first big job as on my own, and did everything myself except for the floors. The floors were like a Brazilian bamboo, and they cost like $8,000. So I subbed that work out. Painting. I sold a couple backsplash jobs, and so I was like, all right, I need a tile saw. So I did basically sold these 2 jobs, but I had to go get a tile saw first, and there it is. I still have this tile saw to this day. Don't use it obviously every day, every month, but it's there for it. My first fence job, this is, you know, just me figuring stuff out, looking stuff up, and, you know, knowing what I need to do to get the job done, and realizing I needed different tools. Ergo track saw. This is about 3 years ago, and I never looked back. More tools, you know, needed stuff. This was, I think, for a YouTube video. And then a dump trailer. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't buy it. I was searching for it years ago, but I didn't get one until just recently. This is, you know, needing, you know, high 14-foot A-frame ladders, needing warm drive circular saws, all that good stuff. Decking. This is my first decking job, and I just did small pieces because I knew I was comfortable with it, and then I didn't rebuild the entire deck. But eventually, you know, we did a bunch of work for this customer. But this is where I start out. You start out small. You can do certain things, see what works, what doesn't. And I knew I needed a trailer, and bought the trailer. So I'm not going into this too much because I already have a video out about the trailer. Got it. It was immediately a game changer, like it would be for any contractor, handyman, because of how much time it saves you. Now, it just sucks because if you're in Ferndale like I am here, you have to park it, you have to detach it. This is my first kitchen, the galley style kitchen, super easy. This job turned out to be a long job. I went from that to this. So wood rot, man, let me tell you, moisture damage, it's crazy. All right, and this is just me working in the field, seeing what I need. I knew I needed a workstation, so went out and bought, you know, more tools, obviously. This is just some of the stuff I had. But again, went back to my house, practiced on my bathrooms. You know, I did, you know, redid them, see what worked, what didn't. And then I got a job in Charlotte, Michigan, I think 2018. Largest job to today. Not the largest job, but pretty close to it. And just redid a kitchen for a customer. Fantastic, turned out great. They're happy. Just doing more practice work. This is actually my nursery at my old house. And here's a picture of the trailer. I have it built out. Again, I'm going to skip over all that because I already have videos on that. This mirror, cracked it, broke it, had to buy it like 3 times. So it was a very good learning experience, just because I knew what not to do, what to do, manage my time. So great customers. I you know, paid for it, got it taken care of, but you know, it's all practice, and this is me practicing, you know, different transitions with paint and all that good stuff. So just honing my skills. I mean, that brings us pretty much closest to relatively present day, you know, 2019's, all that good stuff, because me just doing more work. And that's basically it. And one last thing, my wife, this is obviously with our daughter, but at the same point, me losing my job, my wife still had her job. We're a dual income household, and we have her insurance. So that was a big help, big crutch for me to go out and do my own thing as far as building a brand, building a business. So shout out to her. I mean, it was obviously having that crutch really helps out and really makes it kind of easy. So that's about it, guys. All right, that's about all I have for you guys. Like and subscribe. Check out my Patreon page. I post a lot more videos, or not a lot more, but I post more videos on there, content like this, me complaining, all that good stuff. But that's all I have for you. That's my story. I skipped over a lot of stuff, but you guys get the gist of it. Kind of my progression, my little story going towards the contractor life. So I'll see you in the next video.